What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Wow, it's been a minute, and I don't really know what to say about that, but I apologize. It's been a very busy start to the year. No excuses, no excuses, no excuses. It's on me. I should be more consistent with you guys. I apologize. I'm going to try to pick it back up. It's just been a lot going on outside of YouTube for me, but either way, I've got something I've been working on for you fellow scoliosis lifters, but I've been really trying to make sure this video is done right because I'm going to work on a back workout for everybody and kind of just run through what I do and what I've kind of eliminated and come to conclusion of is a safe workout for somebody is with the severity I have. So I just want to make sure I did that right. So I'm kind of doing this one as a filler for now, more for the ectomorph people. So I want to kind of touch base with you guys. So I realized I hadn't done anything about supplements yet, which is a huge topic, of course, in the fitness industry. So I just wanted to do a quick video and talk about my opinion on supplements and what I have learned over my last decade of lifting and pretty much taking things, what I've dwindled it down to, and what I actually take. So let's get into it. Okay, so what I have in front of me on my feet here is just 4 supplements. I use 4, count them, 4 supplements. I know there are 16.8 billion if you go onto GNC or bodybuilding.com, but I use 4. Now, I have tried others in the past. I have used more than that. I've used less than that. But as of right now, what I find out works best for me is these core 4, as I like to call them. Now, I'm going to run through a little bit of history of them. I'm going to keep things moving because I don't want to bore you with the history of supplements. But we're going to start with, of course, the most important, and that is number 1 for anybody, everything, no matter gaining weight, losing weight, building muscle, whatever. Protein is just number 1. Always will be for every list. Now, going back through my phases of lifting, so if you are a novice lifter or at any stage of you're trying to find a good protein, just to sum up what I've experienced, I started out with what's called Synth-6. This is what I first got because it was highly rated, and it is a really good one. It tastes great. It's priced decently on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being way too much, 1 being it's a Walmart brand. I'd say it's about a 3.5, so it's priced higher than medium, but it's not overpriced, I don't think, because it's great quality, it tastes good, and I did that for about a year. And the reason I stopped actually was because I ran across some of the weight gainers, and since I had entered a phase where I was really trying to get big, I wanted to try it. So I ran across Optimum Nutrition Serious Mass. Now this one I did for a couple years. I did this one for a while. It comes in this giant 12-pound dog food bag, and it lasts a long time if you don't use the actual full scoop, which is almost impossible because it's so thick. I liked that one, and it was good. It was about a 4 inexpensive price though, because then I found out Dymatize had Super Mass Gainer. Now this one I liked because it was like $20, $30 less for the same size. Now I guess maybe the quality might have been less, but I was like, oh, okay. So I went with that for a while, another couple years probably. But then it got to a point where it wasn't really, I don't know what happened, because I've been taking these types for like 4 years, but it just got to a point where it wasn't agreeing with me. So I had to just give up on that. And I was like, okay, I got to find something new. This is just not, I'm not comfortable. It's not settling with me right. I did a little research on it, and I found out that they had a lot of fillers, and there's a lot of sugars, and the extra stuff to give it that extreme amount of calories outside of the protein wasn't the highest of quality of ingredients. And so I was supplementing calories that I could get from higher quality foods with a protein. So I kind of don't recommend these necessarily. The Synth-6 was good. The Serious Mass is fine, but even if you're a hard gainer like me, an ectomorph, when it really comes down to it, this is the one I've probably been using for the last half of my fitness career, is just good old gold standard. It's always the highest rated. Everywhere you go, everybody loves this one. There's, Gym has a good one. Cellucor has a good one. There's a lot of good ones, but for the price, which is I'd say is right around a 3, it's a competitive price with all the other ones around it, and it's just it's good quality. They have good flavors. The chocolate is my favorite, and it's just the only thing that I say they can improve is that's not the best mixing one I had. I mean, you really either got to put it in a blender or shake the crap out of it in your shaker cup, but I've had no issues with this protein, and I highly recommend it for anybody because it just hits all categories. All right, so next is kind of like a half one because it's still a protein. So really I just take 3 different types of supplements, and this one is optional for the extreme weight gainers, and it also is something I've been inconsistent with, but casein protein is phenomenal. Now, this is the kind of thing you want to fill those extra calories instead of a mass gainer, is have 2 shakes a day of 2 different types. Have your gold standard whey either like in the morning or after your workout, and then just have one of these casein shakes right when you go to bed, because for us ectomorphs, the majority of our growth is when we sleep. So if you're managing to get your 7 to 8 hours, this will really help you not get hungry through the night and be that really good protein that just lasts throughout the whole night while your brain is releasing growth hormone and your muscles are recovering. I found out that whenever I've been my heaviest, in a good way, it's been when I've been consistent with my casein. So I do recommend that for the hard gainers, no doubt. All right, so the next big supplement that I have been taking absolutely nonstop, which I know you're supposed to take breaks, is pre-workout. Now, I've also cycled through a couple of those as well. I started out with C4. Everybody knows about C4, Cellucor. That's a really good one, but that one is one for more energy. So it was basically just having like 4 shots of espresso right before I worked out. And yeah, that was great at the beginning, and I would get all jittery, and I would just meh. But I came to find out, I tried a different one, and it was more a pump matrix. And for me, I prefer a pre-workout that really just got me amped to work out and not necessarily energized to work out. So I found one from BPI called 1MR, and I think they discontinued it, but I loved it. It was just tiny scoops, it was concentrated, I didn't have to like take a bunch of powder, it was just tiny scoop, and it didn't have a whole bunch of caffeine. I didn't feel like I had to jump out of the roof, but the title was perfect, 1 more rep. It really did. It gave me more endurance of whatever exercise I was doing, and I felt like I actually had that energy to push through for extra reps. And that's what I wanted. I wanted something that just had my veins popping, just had me feeling like I wanted to just rip something in half versus run, 6 miles. So unfortunately that one discontinued, I believe, so I had to find another one. And so I found they had this company that had a Jekyll and Hyde, which kind of broke them up into the 2 perfectly. So I said, well, that kind of breaks it exactly down. The Hyde is the one for the energy with the excessive caffeine, and this one is the pump matrix. So I was like, I want that one. And I have been with this one consistently for probably 4 or 5 years as well, and I love this one. If you really need that energy, like you need caffeine, the Hyde, I've had it. It's also very good for what it does. But if you work out at night and you don't want to have just that energy, like you're bouncing off the walls right before you need to go to bed, I can take this 10 at night and I can still be tired and ready to go to bed at midnight. So the Jekyll is phenomenal for just that style to get amped, basically. All right, so lastly, this is something I stumbled upon the second half of the lifting career because I had heard so many things about it, is creatine. And so when it comes down to it, protein, pre-workout, and creatine are all you really, really need. Now, the creatine I started with was just the regular creatine monohydrate. Unfortunately, I was only able to take that for a very short spell because like the mass gainers, it started to affect me as well and make me feel not so great. So I tried, they had the pills of the alkaline because apparently this was just like the highest of quality at the time, and I don't know, I was like, sure, I'll try. And it was great. I have never tried anything in my lifting career that totally just helped me bust through plateaus with strength. I was at my heaviest, I was hitting PRs, breaking PRs, like it was nothing. I have never had strength like that. And I know creatine, as people say, is not a steroid, so it's not going to just work miracles. But if you're used to just taking protein and all of a sudden you try creatine, like a good quality one, I promise you, the results are still visible. So don't think it doesn't do anything. Now, I got to the point where I was like, these are like $100 for a bottle, and that's a lot, considering creatine's not supposed to be expensive. So I finally stumbled across Micronized, which is just a finer version of it. So Optimum Nutrition for the win. They have a really good micronized creatine powder, which is just like $15 and it lasts forever. It's 115 servings. That's a long time for $15. And I've had no issues with this. It's the regular powder kind. I just take it with a glass of orange juice in the morning, take the 5 grams that are recommended. And as long as I'm consistent on it, which I started it back up as soon as I started going to the gym again when I moved back down. As long as you're consistent on it, all weights that I had ever been maxed on at any point, I am at. again. I am now back at 315 on squat, about 415 on deadlift. All these things that I maxed out on ever are just there, and they're fine, easy. So creatine, highly recommended if you can find one that agrees with you. So anything else that might be on the list, glutamine, BCAAs, those are fine. I didn't really see any benefit from them. When I was taking them, I took a mix during the workout because glutamine in theory helps you recover. It helps you with recovery, and BCAA is kind of the same thing. I say they're fine. If you want to use them, great. I just don't necessarily use them myself, so that's just what this is about. What I use, I've tried it. It was fine. Didn't really see the use of spending the $30 a month or whatever, so cut that out. And outside of that, just take your vitamins. I do take daily vitamins, fish oils for heart health and joint health, and immunity boosters so I can not get sick. And outside of that, there's really nothing else when you walk into that GNC that you need. Just being honest. Get your protein in. If you're a true hard gainer, get your nighttime protein in. Have your pre-workout so you can always be excited to be there, and take your creatine so you can really hit and break through plateaus and PRs. Past that, the rest is on you. Be consistent and have a good diet. So supplements, these are good. These are the ones that actually will help you make a difference. But past that, just don't even waste your money. So anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you guys on that topic. Just wanted to touch base, make sure you all knew I was still alive, talk about some supplementation so there's no discrepancy. Next video, promise, I'm going to do a full back kind of workout / demonstration of all workouts that I do at least, and then ones that are better or worse based on what your condition may be, whether you have a lumbar scoliosis, whether yours is uneven, whether you twist. Just talk about some things to exercise your back, because I've emphasized how important it is to have a strong back to kind of mask it and support it. So you want to be able to still do back exercises and have a back day. So anyway, that's about it. I hope you all are having a wonderful transition to spring. Here, it's still kind of cold, but we're getting there. So hope everybody's doing great, having a fantastic week, and I will check in with you all next video.